Yo, what's good? This is Mastermind MMA, and this video is going to be my thoughts on Israel Adesanya questioning the validity of Robert Whittaker's belt. So basically, I saw a video where Izzy was on Submission Radio. They're Australian MMA guys that cover MMA, and he does a lot of videos with them. They do a lot of videos with a lot of fighters, not just Australians. But they were talking to him. They had an interview talking back and forth about when he's looking at the fight. He's saying September, maybe fall, maybe pushing it later. He's liking this break or whatever. But pretty much they're bringing up things that Robert said, and a lot of times in the media between Robert and Izzy, there's not much heat between them, but there's some, like, I would guess, critiques and criticisms from Robert's end, just like pretty much honest analysis as he feels, like not sugarcoating shit. And like, well, like, he's a good fighter and all, but this is what I see. Da da da. Obviously, he's an opponent. You know what I mean? So when media brings it up to Izzy, they kind of make it a whole thing, you know. And then like Izzy's like, well, every time I'm doing media, I hear they keep asking me about some other like subtle shade that Robert's throwing at me, and da 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 da. So it really created this tension, and like it just kind of been heating up. And then like Izzy was calling him like a fake New Zealander and stuff like that, and like a fake Kiwi and all that. And then like it's like the All Blacks versus the Kiwis, and like the all oceanic fights and all these land down under terms. Yeah, that was fucking trash, dude. I don't know what's good with my accents today, but I'm gonna cut that back. Land down under. There we go. That was better. So nah, man. I'm not even gonna do any more impressions today. I got a couple more videos to crank out, but no, I'm not even. I'm disappointed in myself. I might just restart this shit, honestly, but I won't. But anyway, so Izzy was he was saying like, well, honestly, I fought like 5 or 6 fights in this year, and like I had more fights than he did, and like look at the people I fought, look at the people he fought. And you know, oh, he's not the lineal champion, he was the interim champion. He never fought the champ to unify his belt. And then he was like, he was the interim champ. But like, even in my video I did about whose belt weighs more, Tony Ferguson's or Khabib's, and I even brought up this situation, how Robert Whittaker, through his resume and through the killer's row he had to go through, built and validated that belt to be championship belt, best in the world belt. Now, when it comes to Israel Adesanya, the only validating factor that he has to his belt is Kelvin Gastelum. Let's keep it real. And I fuck with Izzy heavy, but let's be honest. He doesn't have the record and went through the people that Robert Whittaker went through. I mean, off the top of my head, when he went to middleweight, he fought Uriah Hall, beat Uriah Hall. This is Robert Whittaker. Then he fought Derek Brunson. Not in chronological order. I'm just going off the top of my head of what I remember. It was Derek Brunson, and then after that, a big fight with Jacare, the shocking knockout of Jacare, when Jacare was like, Jacare's always doing his damn thing, you know what I mean? And then after that, the fight against Yoel Romero, fam, bruh, like, honestly, that fight with Yoel Romero was fight of the fucking year, and then a fucking rematch against Yoel Romero for fight of the year. And Izzy was like, oh, he hasn't even defended his belt, bro. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care how much Yoel didn't make weight, or if Robert Whittaker lost, he would still retain the belt, bro. That was a title defense, and like it or not, Whittaker defended his belt in fight of the fucking year. We can't have recency bias. We can't forget that. Excuse me, just because Izzy had the fight with Kelvin, which is fight of the year this year, we can't forget about last year's fight of the year with fucking with Izzy and Romero, dude. And that shit was like a lot more competitive, and it was a crazy back and forth fight. And you know, Robert Whittaker's belt, in my opinion, holds way much more weight than Izzy's. Like, honestly, Izzy has the validating factor of Kelvin Gastelum, but for Izzy's belt to be like he's undisputed best in the world, he has to unify against Robert Whittaker, to me. Because in middleweight, Robert Whittaker has a lot more weight, and in his strength, the schedule and the timing of it that he did, despite all the injuries, that I feel like he just got to have it. You know what I mean? And he's earned it. He's put in, like, yo, bro, you haven't fought a Jacare. You haven't fought Yoel twice. You know what I mean? Yoel's a fucking killer. And with Izzy, dude, he takes a lot of time to compute, and you have your openings like Kelvin made. And the thing is, you don't have retrospect with Yoel Romero because it's a motherfucking Cuban missile. Pew! And you're just waking up at the canvas, what's happening? And you look up at the big screen, and you see this brolic ass, Adonis ass motherfucker flying in the air, contacting you with some limb. This motherfucker might even do a spinning fucking can't even get out this shit, spinning back this flying knee type shit, and you don't even know what's happening, dude, because it's Yoel Romero, dude. And honestly, the fact that Whittaker made that through twice, like, it's not even like, regardless of the second fight, dude, he made it through Yoel Romero twice, dude. So you can't tell me anything about that. Izzy needs to unify with Robert. Keep in mind, I really, really, really fuck with Izzy. I fuck with him as a person and as a fighter and as a character, however you want to frame it. I like Izzy a lot. But at the end of the day, I got to keep it real. Whittaker's been putting in more work to validate that. Honestly, you have Kelvin to your thing. And honestly, you don't know how well what a rematch with Kelvin and Izzy would do, because honestly, although Izzy can make adjustments, Kelvin can make adjustments too. And don't sleep on motherfucking Rafael Cordero. Oh, and if I didn't say this in one of my other videos, shout out Eugene Barrowman, because I saw him the other day at PFL. That's Israel Adesanya's coach, like a couple weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I don't even know. But recently I saw Eugene Barrowman. He was in the back during the triage area with his fighter, so I wasn't going to go be like, oh, he's in the middle of conversation too, so I'm not going to like stay at the side and stalk and be like, oh, yeah, I fuck with you, but like, you know, mostly Izzy. You know what I mean? So anyway, it would have been cool just to say what's up. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Rafael Cordero can make the adjustments, and he could easily take out Izzy. You know what I mean? With the adjustments being made, like, honestly, I feel like going into a rematch, it's how I felt like the first fight's going to be. It's like the same way, just more finely tuned. And it's going to be more action-packed or a little more tentative. It could be either fully more action-packed or more tentative, because they both know each other. And they both know they're very dangerous to each other. So it could go one of those either ways. But so it could either be the very best fight, like totally one-upping the first fight, or it could just kind of be like, you should just kept that at one fight. But at the end of the day, that's something that's probably going to be ran back somehow, some way. You know what I mean? Regardless of any outcome, any way you mix it up, whatever variables you use, I feel like Izzy and Kelvin are going to see each other soon sometime. And it's like Kelvin probably going to see Whittaker again too. So, you know, those guys are meant to happen. You know what I mean? They rose to the top of the division. But honestly, I fuck with Izzy. I recognize him as a champ. I'll give him like the IAC champion. I'll make him, you know, the Israel Adesanya champion. But he definitely earned his claim as a champion and be championship caliber. I like what Poirier says. I like how Poirier says, I got the piece of the belt. I got a piece of the world title. And honestly, that's really what it is. It's almost like I can't even break it down to halves, because honestly, Robert Whittaker's piece of the title holds a lot more weight. It's not like Khabib and Tony's are like, oh shit, Tony's piece might have more weight, or oh shit, Khabib's got it. It's like almost like it's looking half. You know, you got to really line it up and see who's who. They both have equal claim to being the greatest. But when it comes to Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya, it shows that they definitely have another potential to stylistically. That's another fight that's going to be fucking incredible, right? So of course, obviously, we're both. We got to wait till the outcome, and I'll wait till my predictions and analysis till it's closer and announced, because I really want to get into that. But honestly, I feel like Israel can't question it. He can't question the caliber of Robert Whittaker's belt and how much he weighs, and he was interim champion too. I got equal claim, because if you're gonna play that game, granted he didn't get the lineal championship, and he started his own lineage, and you started your own lineage, and you're going to unify that, and that'll be the beginning of the new lineal title in the UFC. The fact of the matter is, he's got the heavier and the bigger piece, due to the Yoel Romero wars, due to that crazy war with Jacare. Not even going down the list of even more, and even though his longer tenure in the UFC. You know what I mean? So he's got more experience. He's more tested. Granted, Izzy's only been here a year. He's done phenomenal. But there was a lot of stylistic matchups that were like, it was like testing. Like it was almost like a college course where he had the first test, the intro course, and then we did this. We saw a guy with some wrestling that gave him a little diversity. Then we're like, all right, we're going to test you on a wrestler. We saw him improve on that and deal with that problem. Then they're like, all right, we're going to give you this incredible striker that's well-rounded and his wrestling as well. And he went to war with that, made it out of there the victor. And now it's like, let's see if you are world championship and world caliber, because we've seen the slow, steady build of Robert Whittaker and him go through the fucking fire and make it to the top and be burned and be scathed and have like be deformed from the flames but still have the crown. We've seen Izzy go through a fire with Calvin, but let's see if he could go through fires consistently like Robert Whittaker does. And that's my take on it. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.